From the moment we are born, we are taught to identify ourselves with the body, its name, shape, color, gender, and experiences. But this ancient truth reveals something radically different. You are not the body, you are the one who observes it. Think about it. Your body has changed completely since childhood, yet there is something within you that has remained unchanged, quietly watching every transformation. When you're in pain, a part of you notices the pain. When you're joyful, a part of you is aware of the joy. That silent witness is your real self. This inner observer does not age, does not react, and is untouched by external events. It simply sees, without judgment, without effort. The body is a vehicle and the mind is its instrument, but you, the observer, are the eternal presence behind both. The great mystics knew that if you could learn to shift your identity from the perishable body to the imperishable observer, a deep freedom would begin to emerge and life itself would take on a completely different dimension. Breath is often dismissed as a mere biological function, but in ancient wisdom, it is seen as the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Every breath you take is a direct link to your life force, the invisible energy that sustains you from moment to moment. Unlike the mind which wanders endlessly between past and future, the breath is always present, it cannot lie, it cannot pretend. That's why in ancient traditions, breath was not only a tool for survival, but a doorway to deep inner transformation. Simply observing or altering the rhythm of your breath, you can influence your mental state, emotional stability, and even your energy flow. In fact, the breath carries within it a map to your inner world. Its speed, depth and quality reflect your inner condition. When you're anxious, it becomes shallow and erratic. When you're calm, it is deep and steady. Yogis and seekers understood this and created entire systems of practice, not around words, theories or beliefs, but around mastering the breath. Because when you control the breath, you begin to control the mind. And when the mind slows down, the doorway to inner stillness begins to open. In a world that glorifies constant activity and endless motion, the idea of stillness may seem counterintuitive, even uncomfortable. Yet the ancient masters discovered that true power does not come from doing more, but from learning how to simply be. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of depth. When you are truly still, physically and mentally, something extraordinary begins to happen. The noise of the world fades, the chaos of thought settles, and you begin to experience a space within yourself that is vast, silent and untouched. This space holds clarity, intuition and insight that no amount of thinking can produce. Great minds, sages and visionaries all spoke of moments of absolute stillness where profound realizations dawned. In this state, you are no longer reacting to life, you are in alignment with it, flowing with the rhythm of existence rather than resisting it. It is in stillness that you regain your center, recharge your energy and access a power that is beyond the reach of action. A power that arises not from control, but from deep surrender to the present moment. Every leaf that unfurls, every star that burns, every heartbeat that pulses within your chest, all are expressions of a vast, boundless intelligence that permeates existence. This intelligence is not something separate from you. It is the very fabric of your being. The same force that orchestrates the movements of planets, the blooming of flowers, and the rise and fall of oceans is also the force that breathes through you, digests your food, heals your wounds, and drives your thoughts. Yet most people live as if they are isolated fragments, cut off from this greater intelligence, struggling to figure everything out on their own. Ancient seers, however, realized that human life is not a random accident, but a conscious expression of the cosmos itself, a miniature universe in motion. When you begin to align with this inner intelligence, instead of constantly resisting or overthinking, life begins to unfold in ways that feel effortless and harmonious. You no longer feel the need to force everything into place, because you begin to trust the wisdom that created you in the first place, a wisdom that is already guiding you, if only you would stop and listen. The mind is a magnificent tool, capable of imagination, logic, memory and creation, but only when it functions under your conscious direction. The problem arises when this tool begins to rule you, leading to restlessness, anxiety and constant inner conflict. In today's world, most people live as slaves to their thoughts, reacting to every impulse, emotion and mental narrative without ever questioning who is truly in control. Ancient wisdom teaches that the mind was never meant to lead, it was meant to follow. Cue. Just as a knife is useful in the hands of a skilled cook but dangerous in the hands of a child, the mind becomes destructive when left unchecked and untrained. The deeper realization is that you are not the mind, you are the awareness behind it. When you begin to observe the mind instead of identifying with it, a gap is created. In that gap, freedom is born. You no longer jump with every thought or drown in every emotion. Instead, you begin to see clearly, choose consciously, and live deliberately. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self inquiry were designed not to suppress the mind, but to place it back in its rightful position as a servant to your higher awareness. When that balance is restored, life, while modern understanding of the human being revolves mostly around the physical body and psychological mind, ancient traditions went far deeper. They recognized that the real core of human experience lies in energy. Everything you think, feel or do is powered by the subtle energies flowing through you. When your energy is vibrant and aligned, even ordinary actions feel effortless and joyful. When it is blocked or imbalanced, life feels like a constant struggle, no matter how ideal the outer circumstances may seem. The ancients mapped these energies in the form of chakras, nadis, and pranic flows, understanding that true transformation begins not by fixing the outside but by shifting the inside. Energy doesn't lie. You can fake a smile or suppress a thought, but the vibration of your energy reveals your true state. Through breathwork, meditation, movement, and intentional living, one can cleanse, activate, and elevate these energies. When this is done, your body becomes lighter, your mind clearer, your emotions more stable, and your presence more magnetic. The universe responds not just to what you say or do, but to the energy you emit. And the more refined and powerful that energy becomes, the more your life starts. True education is not about memorizing facts or collecting degrees. It is about waking up to reality as it is. Awareness is the most profound form of intelligence because it allows you to see clearly without distortion, react consciously instead of automatically, and live with presence instead of sleepwalking through life. Most people are highly informed but poorly aware. They know everything about the world outside but very little about what's happening within them. Awareness begins when you start observing your own thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment, just as a scientist observes a phenomenon. This inner observation creates a space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies the power to change, grow, and transcend. Ancient teachings emphasized awareness as the foundation of wisdom because it brings light to the unconscious patterns that keep us stuck in cycles of fear, anger, and desire. When you become aware of your breath, you begin to calm the mind. When you become aware of your thoughts, you start to break free from their grip. Free from their grip, when you become aware of your presence, you touch something beyond the mind altogether. Awareness doesn't just inform, it transforms because it awakens you to the truth of who you are beneath the noise.